Top tier. Anti-Elon rally. Turn my heater off. Guess I get to clip this. Anti-Elon rally. This should be interesting. From my boy Andrew from Channel 5.
My gray hair, you think I probably don't listen to rap music, and you're right. But I heard about the slogan in a podcast, and I thought that is the right idea.
Elon. Oh, they love Kendrick. Oh, they love Kendrick. Joseph, the business. Elon, yeah, they don't fuck with the Musk.
Musk, he not like us.
And that's a Kendrick Lamar reference.
I would know.
Yeah.
I know it's a rap music reference. How do the rappers say it?
They not like us.
They not like us. The billionaires shouldn't be able to tell all the rest of us what to do.
They are hilarious.
Elon Musk is literally raiding our government and destroying our country.
I am become meme.
That's the one illegal alien that we have to get rid of.
Meanwhile, Trump and Musk's efforts to expand the power of the executive branch and slash the federal workforce continue. What they're doing...
Yeah, they getting rid of everybody, boy. Oh, the dog, Quest, he right here. He just moving around. Quest, he right here. Yeah, they getting rid of everybody. Yep. Yeah. That's why, you work for the government, man. When them presidents and them people they elect are switched over, you never know. Never know.
Doing is illegal. He is not a government employee.
300 employees at the National Nuclear Security Administration were fired.
It's a coup.
It's a bunch of unelected billionaires who are ransacking our government.
This really does look like 1933 Germany. Hitler did rule via executive order.
38 executive orders.
Just executive order after executive order.
That boy
And
going
it's,
crazy.
it's fascism at its heart.
Hi, I'm Hitler. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with Hitler?
Yeah, Trump for emperor.
We want to down.
Holy shit. What's wrong with Hitler, she said. Whew.
What's wrong with Hitler?
Yeah, Trump for emperor.
We want to downsize.
Trump is our
government, make it
emperor. It's
better.
crazy.
Stop the fucking billionaires.
He's firing a lot of federal workers. Many of these folks have civil service protection, so these things are against the law.
He's in the IRS today, I hear. He's getting all of our information. They're slashing jobs. They're slashing the Department of Education. They're slashing...
infectious disease experts, baby formula inspectors, livestock disease testers,
People in the FBI,
park rangers, bank regulators,
CDC.
drug addiction and cancer scientists.
Basically slashing every resources that we have.
It's kind of like we're gutting the country from the inside out.
And why? Because they want to give themselves a big tax break or they destroy the middle class.
They're just trying to destroy our government, to wipe out the power of the people, and to put oligarchs in charge.
We can't roll over anymore. People are rolling over. It's like, no.
America is resisting fascism like the entire world is.
Because this system sucks. It's done by design, and what we need is a revolution. We really do.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
We are here live in New York City at Union Square for the Anti-Elon.
I wonder how much security
Stop the coup.
Elon
Fuck the King's protest.
walk
We're
around
gonna
with.
Talk to some people about how they feel about everything going on right now.
In this country, I have friends, I have family who are transgender. You can't roll back history. My friend Yvonne Ritter, who just died last year, who was one of the key people at Stonewall.
For context, the Stonewall riots were a series of events that occurred after New York City police attempted to illegally raid and shut down a prominent queer bar in the 60s. It was 6 days of mayhem and is generally considered to be the launch point for the modern gay rights movement.
The other day, we all woke up to see that the T was removed from the website honoring the Stonewall riots.
References to transgender and queer people have been removed from the Stonewall National Monument section on the National Park Service website. This comes as the Trump administration continues to push for federal agencies to only recognize two genders, male and female.
And this
Yeah, I
is
heard about
absolutely
that one.
outrageous. It's like undoing history. It's reversing history. You can't
Male and
do
female.
that. So they might have removed the T, but they can't undo the history. That's why we're here. That's why it's important to have this flag. I'm an immigrant from Ireland. I came here because I was gay. It was a criminal offense in Ireland at the time.
Damn,
and I
for
came
real?
here precisely because there was...
Yeah, I can see that being a criminal offense in Ireland. Knowing people from Ireland and the music and the culture. A lot of African countries, it's illegal also. I think some countries, if they find that, you get killed or thrown in prison for life or something like that.
Room here if you are queer, if you are gay. Now this policy is reversing that.
President Trump keeps his promise to get wokeness out of the United States Armed Forces as he signs multiple executive orders to reshape the military.
And late today at the White House, President Trump signing an executive order banning transgender women from competing in women's sports.
The administration has issued.
I ain't gonna lie, I rock with that
for
one.
Hospitals, for instance.
That ain't fair. Girls going up against biological boys.
From competing in women's sports.
The
Hell no.
administration
That ain't fair.
Orders
especially in track, nigga. God damn.
Healthcare for young people,
taking off on them hoes.
for adults who are transgender.
Taking off on them girls, man.
Signed an executive order halting federal support for gender-affirming health care for people under 19 years of age.
Can you imagine being in the middle of treatment and all of a sudden a directive comes from Washington to stop that treatment? My husband is a pediatric hematologist oncologist. I've been inspired by him as I watched him care for children with sickle cell and with cancer. And I understand how important trials are and research. So the cuts, the directives from Washington have literally cut and threatened the life, therefore, of many children across America and young people.
The Trump administration has told federal health agencies to pause external communications.
So it's very practical. It's not just rhetoric. It literally impacts real lives, families who love their children, who care for their families.
He's acting like a king or wannabe dictator, and I think it's pathetic.
This country is moving very rapidly under Trump into an authoritarian form of society.
We have a government where powers are supposed to be separated between the equal branches. The executive branch is not authorized to simply defund programs that have been appropriated by Congress. They're seizing power, they're firing civil service members to put in loyalists.
Overnight, President Trump firing the nation's top military leadership in an unprecedented purge.
The Republican Congress is not.
Yeah, I heard about that one too. This dude right here is like the most decorated person they got, and they fired him. I wonder why.
Unprecedented purge.
The Republican Congress
That's crazy.
is not checking him on.
And they fired the woman, the only woman.
And that's why I'm here. I hope we can get back to the democracy we've had for 250 years.
What are some of the executive orders that you found most egregious in this first month of the new term?
Oh, end of birthright citizenship, without a doubt.
President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship has kicked off an unprecedented legal battle over immigration policy.
I'm also worried about there's a bill been introduced in the House to make a national ban on abortion.
I think the executive orders firing inspector generals, I would say, because they are the watchdogs of our society.
Within days of taking office, President Trump fired more than 17 inspectors general across the federal government.
Like, what does that do? What does that do for us? How does that make us stronger?
Programs, which has frightened other.
I understand all this other stuff, whatever. But when you fire people like that's protecting us in the military and all this other shit, what does that do? That makes us weaker. Do I still listen to Puya here and there?
People
here
to
and
stop
there.
Teaching history and stop teaching about our true history. And
all agencies were directed to put DEI staff on leave. Employees ordered to remove pronouns from their signatures. Diversity inclusion programs shuttered.
You know, I stand by DEI. I'm not going to give up on these terms. Language is structural. It's not just a matter of, exchanging DEI with excellence. I think you have to stick and fight for these terms that we've so hard fought to have inserted in our institutions. I'm active in the cultural world, and I don't let go of it so quickly.
Why do you think they're attacking it so much?
Because they are racist and equate any challenge to the economic system in this country with people who are not white, and it's actually the opposite. You know, without immigrants or people who represent diversity in very different aspects, we would be in a much, much, much worse.
Yeah, the DEI thing is crazy, cause the dude he fired had more merit than the guy he hired, which was odd. Because he fired a 4-star and hired a 3-star that had more merit.
Condition.
Tonight, Walmart joining a growing list of companies rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives.
Yeah, I saw
I
it.
think there is so much focus on DEI right now.
Because I always think scapegoating people is easy, and I think that they're racists.
Stop the fucking billionaires.
Top 5 most billionaires, what comes to mind?
Well, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, if he actually is a billionaire. Bill Gates, pretty bad, but not as bad as Jeff Bezos. And trying to think of another one.
Larry Fink.
Larry Fink. There you go. Zuckerberg's also a fucking terrible billionaire.
As far as wealth distribution goes, do you feel like anybody
Are there any good billionaires?
Probably not. But the thing is that what's more important is that the billionaire shouldn't be able to tell all the rest of us what to do.
Right.
I think they can earn $1 billion, but then they have to have fair taxation.
How billionaire Jeff Bezos pays 0 in taxes.
Because we want to encourage people, you know, and to be, I mean, you've hit my main issue here, but you know, they hate the government. The government is set up for them to succeed.
The same goes for larger corporations. Smaller companies barely survived the pandemic, while larger corporations simply coasted through. The reason for this was the higher taxes.
And they get a lot of benefits.
Oh yeah, I was buying hella shit from Amazon during the pandemic.
Billions in government contracts, et cetera, especially his space program.
SpaceX alone has received $19 billion from the federal government, and it is poised to take in several
billion. You say Elon's good in your opinion?
At the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest?
You say so.
No, because first of all, I'm
think
not
so?
the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract.
He is living off government contracts and cutting off USAID to countries that are desperately in need of food. Meanwhile, he's sitting on piles of cash.
Backlash after Elon Musk seized control of USAID, agency that provides U.S. humanitarian assistance around the world.
Oh, the USAID is ridiculous, you know, and the lies around it are unreal. And if you turn on Fox News, it's literally just a propaganda machine.
Angry Democrats throwing a hissy fit after Elon Musk dropped the Doge hammer on the Hunter Biden of government agencies.
Supposedly there's $200 million worth of food that's being held up in ports right now, condoms that need to go to Africa, AIDS medication. It's ridiculous.
You know, around the world, we are doing like important medicine to help things from getting out of hand, like COVID. You know, those things, we are a big interconnected world. Those things come here.
All the money to fight diseases in other countries, that's going to come back to bite us when those diseases land here on our shores.
But hell, I don't want Ebola to come here and mutate. I don't want AIDS to mutate because, like,
shouts out to you, Pepe.
Trump and Musk's defunding.
Yeah, man, take care of what you gotta take care of, my G.
To reinstate funding for Ebola and HIV research.
We have, for example, turned on funding for Ebola prevention and for HIV prevention. Yes, correct.
Still, many of
if
Elon's
you think
critics
if you
use
should
government
have to
USA
run
as
for
a strange,
being a military to run for
unnecessary
president,
given
that's
its
not,
relative small percentage.
it's not the
of
worst
overall
concept or
government
idea I've heard.
USAID spending, foreign aid is not a large percent of our budget. Defense is tremendous.
But even sometimes that don't work out, cause
but foreign aid is a tiny fraction of
some of these niggas is mad crazy, PTSD, all types of shit.
$43 billion budget is a tiny fraction of what the government.
That's why they were so concerned about John McCain being president.
Per taxpayer in America, although, you know, if you have to figure out how much of that is really well-off people versus poor people, it's not on average. So it's a tiny amount of money that pays off tremendously for the benefit for Americans. Like, you know, people look at us as positively around the world.
Its support is a critical lifeline for people in need around the world, helping an estimated 32 million children suffering malnutrition and bringing food, water, shelter, and health care to victims of natural disasters.
In addition to being a humanitarian
that's crazy.
disaster, there's just no goodwill. You know, we will become the hated country in the world.
Newsflash, my brother, we've been hated for many decades. Because like I said, I went to school with people from different countries, different continent, cultures. Here on YouTube, I've talked to, and Twitch, being here on social media, talking to different people from different continents, countries, and whatnot. You know, stories from just life, right? We've been hated for many, many decades, man. Now we just being hated on a more brighter scale with social media and just more. You know? That's why we get videos and we got people talking about don't come to our country and stuff like that. And it's even videos of Americans going to these other countries and getting killed, getting beat up, getting robbed, getting kidnapped. All because they're American. You know? And is it happening a lot? It's happening enough, I would say. Enough. You know, so countries have a lot to hate about this country. With the shit we've been pulling off, man. we give people a lot of ammo, I'll tell you that. We give countries a lot of ammo. Else does every country, but just living in this country, we give countries a lot of ammo.
Just like Germany was under the Nazis.
Some former officials say it could leave fragile countries more vulnerable to the influence of nations like Russia and China.
They're also cutting programs to help hungry kids here. It's a ridiculous survival of the fittest that we probably should move past as a civilization, just a little bit.
Hey man, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Our show's called Channel 5 on YouTube.
Yep, that's right.
Are you really the last person to find out about the Skip Ads Forever button? This is Pi, and if it sounds familiar to you, it's probably because you've seen it.
You're watching Channel 5. What's up, my C5 family? As many of you guys know, I've been to many events just like that one in Union Square. And everywhere I go,
some people migrate here, yeah, and they still hate it, and that's why they go back.
One thing is constant. Somebody.
Like I've definitely realized that too.
I can't smell bad.
A lot of the kids, a lot of the people that I grew up or went to college with, when they get done with school, they eventually go back. And some stay. But I know quite a bit that just come here for the educational part or money or whatnot, and then they head back. And then you have some who just don't come at all. Like there's been I want to say the right thing. We had a kid in a different school. He came out here and went to school for 1 year, and he was just terrified. He just didn't like the pace of America. He didn't like some things are just about the country. He necessarily didn't say the people. I'm sure the people were okay. He wasn't in nowhere but fucking Colorado, so Denver, Colorado. So not that fast pace of a city, but yeah, he said just America wasn't just for him. So even things like that, you know. Let's say not hating on the country, just the pace of the country, the vibe of the country. Just it's not for everybody. But for those who live here, we know Denver, Colorado, and New York. You don't even have to go to Denver or go to New York. You know those two places are gonna be two different type of vibes, just off of living in this country. You just know that's gonna happen. But for people who don't know that, a place like Denver, Colorado can be fast paced.
Mando, Huntington Beach Public Library, Mando. I love Mando so
And I've been to
much,
Colorado. It's a nice
I wish
place.
I had some. Mando.com. S-A. All right.
Nice
Daddy
little area.
Trump. Trump for emperor. Love Trump.
Okay, let's see what she's talking about.
You seem to like Trump.
I love Trump. Daddy Trump. Trump for emperor.
So how do you think about this whole concept of a coup happening?
It's hilarious. I'm out here to watch the shit show in the troll.
What do you think about Elon Musk?
The shit show on the troll.
I think he's hot. He needs to date a tranny. No, I totally would fuck him so bad.
She trolling? She trolling?
So you don't think the Hitler salute was legit?
Hi, Hitler. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with Hitler?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people would say a lot of things.
8 million Jews can tell.
Is she? Nah, she's serious.
What's wrong with Hitler?
This is America. Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs and
all good, baby.
Less Trump, more shrimp. More shrimp. Always room for more shrimp. Definitely room for less Trump. So if there's one message for the people of America at home or worldwide, less Trump, more shrimp. Heard it here first.
You have anything to say to the world?
Definitely like stand up to fascism. There's a hostile takeover of the government happening. A bunch of billionaires are reaping the benefits from it, and we're all getting fucked. So people gotta hit the streets and make it happen. Also, like more shrimp, less Trump.
Obviously, everybody at the rally.
You hit the streets, my boy, and I'm gonna chill over here and let y'all figure it out.
I'm a Democrat for 45 years.
Because I don't think they're going to impeach Trump.
So I put a lot of those people in office who voted for things that quite frankly, they're stealing money from us with all these NGOs that are being investigated. I like Elon Musk. Keep doing it. Keep looking at where our money is going and traveling to. I don't want to support war and our military dying or anybody else dying in any foreign countries.
You learn that like there's hundreds of billions of dollars going to these so-called NGOs. Yeah. And it's your tax dollars that are funding things that are fundamentally anti-American.
Going back to Doge, though, can you think of an example of them actually like cleaning things up and helping us save money so far? NGOs.
What state is this? I think this is New York City.
Unfortunately, I was hit by a car. I can't remember everything. I have a brain issue.
Damn, hit by a car is crazy.
That I do know is that
God bless her soul.
Prophylactics to like Guatemala, or raising money for some Sesame Street DEI or LBGT thing going on in another country.
Drag shows in Ecuador, atheism in Nepal, trans comic books in Peru.
All these NGOs that are in other countries getting money from you and you and you and you, all of our taxes. Where is this money going? I like the Doge. I want to know where my money's going. I want to know why I can't afford to buy a steak, which is $22. I want to know why I can't afford to buy eggs.
Well, I would think it has something to do with the weapons manufacturers that are being subsidized by government contracts as opposed to DEI initiatives.
Well, the military-industrial complex has definitely been infiltrated with people who are corrupt, and I agree with you, and I hope that those contracts are looked at and found out and killed and canceled. And I hope people are held accountable and go to jail.
But what you said is also true about what a lot of people in the recovery community call the nonprofit industrial complex, which is these massive NGOs that are being funded and the money goes nowhere, just to salaries for activists.
Not only salaries for activists,
big payments.
Also, many of these NGOs are semi-sophisticated money laundering operations for billionaires who embed their wealth in nonprofits to avoid paying taxes. Elon Musk himself owns a $5 billion charity called the Musk Foundation with no employees or staff, and notable other billionaires and Trump allies like Jeff.
Hey, $5 billion, no employees, no staff. Woo, shit. That nigga like I'm paying me.
Elon Musk himself owns a $5 billion charity called the Musk Foundation with no employees or staff. And notable other billionaires and Trump allies like Jeff Bezos owns a $100 million nonprofit with the stated goal of combating homelessness, or rather funding partner organizations who take that money and then go fight homelessness. In the city of Seattle, of all places, where nothing has significantly changed.
Nah, it's gotten worse.
Seem to really concern wealthy NGO and nonprofit investors.
Boy, like that homelessness in Seattle, nigga. Man, I got a homie that work in Seattle. He live out there, and I'll be watching his Snapchats. Boy, that homelessness in Seattle, them niggas is different. It's crazy. It's like they be busting them out there.
Musk and Bezos. After all, it's not just for PR and tax purposes. As scholar Ruth Wilson Gilmore puts it, the non-profit industrial complex is also dependent on surveillance and control. The rich have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo, particularly when it comes to wealth distribution and control of media and information streams. So control of any non-profits in the social justice or so-called revolutionary realm allows them to do a few things. But most importantly, it allows them to create a quasi-welfare style financial dependency amongst dox the leaders of these causes and threaten to pull funding if they don't fall in line with the imposed narrative and agenda of government agencies and private corporations. They can also collect intel to either share with law enforcement.
Do I like
or use to
Elon? Nah, I don't fuck with
cancel
Elon.
And dismantle anyone getting too spicy. Now, obviously, not all NGOs are CIA psyops to dismantle revolutionary causes and launder taxable income.
I didn't like him before the
But to act
whole
like the NGO
Nazi
issue that
salute.
Elon Musk is
I thought it was a
citing is just
cornball.
conservative talking point that he's pulling out of his ass is insane. Whether or
Probably
not
not. He's
actually
probably a
gonna
cool
do
little
anything
businessman,
about it
but
is a different conversation. But it's still a problem, and one that I hope gets solved.
Do you think there is such
Just
a
'cause you got
concept
money
as like the
now.
non-profit industrial complex? Like, do you think
And
there
the
is a
whole
degree
Nazi
of
salute
embezzlement
was
when it
crazy.
comes to some of these organizations?
No.
I like how he played it off though. That was.
I think.
I like how he tried to play that off
nonprofits
though.
have stepped in to do the work that the government does not.
He wasn't going down without no
So
fight.
they're doing really important work, like providing
was
free
not
legal
going down
services
without
to
no fight,
undocumented
my brother.
immigrants, providing health care where our system doesn't provide it.
But
So
no,
I
I'm
think
not
they're
a
doing
fan of
really
Elon.
critical life-saving work. And without nonprofits
I don't wish no harm on him,
holding
but-
up a system that is, not serving everyone, we won't.
I'm just not a
people won't
fan of
get
him.
care. They won't get legal representation. They won't get the services they need.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine. Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News. Channel 55. We don't fuck with customers.
We gonna fuck with customers.
Hey man, thanks for that web link. It's really working.
We don't
I don't know if
fuck
you
with
guys missed the
customers.
memo, but we just dropped an entire feature film. That's right, a full-blown movie at www.dearkellyfilm.com.
DearKellyFilm.com.
It's an action-packed movie that revolves around the life and times of Kelly Johnson, aka Kelly J. Patriot.
They assassinated
That's exactly what it looked like to me.
It documents
I
his
calls it like I
semi-estranged
sees it.
family and their attempt to pull him out of the rabbit hole.
Bill Joyner! You don't know Bill Joyner, do you?
I calls it like I sees it. There's a
It's a good
gesture
movie. If you guys want to watch it,
we do here
www.dearkellyfilm.com.
in this
It's
country
available for rent
that is
and buy.
for
You can rent it for $5.55,
giving your heart to someone.
or you can buy it for
That's not it.
$15.55.
That's just not it.
www.dearkellyfilm.com.
That's not how you do that. So, and then him doubling down. Yeah, that's. And then you see people on the internet just playing with it and stuff like that. Once again, I think it's entertaining. Me personally, I'm not offended by it. I think it's all entertainment. You know. So if you want to get down like that, you can get down like that. You feel me? If not,